Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do a video that I haven't ever done, but I've seen a lot of other booktubers do, and that is a 5-star prediction video. Basically, I chose 5 books off of my TBR that I think when I eventually get around to reading these books, they'll be 5 stars. And I'm sharing it with you now because I am hoping that I will have the time to read some of these books soon. I only have like maybe 2 or 3 books in front of these, and then these are my most important books on my TBR because obviously I'm super excited about them. I think they're going to be 5 stars because the premise, the synopsis, there are certain like buzzwords throughout that just make me really think I'm going to love them. So the first book, I have one from 2016, one from 2017, one from 2018, and 2 from 2019. So the one from 2016 is All the Ugly and Beautiful Things by Bryn Greenwood. This is a book that I heard both Gabby and Jacqueline talk about. I think Gabby recommended it out and then Jacqueline read it and loved it, and now I want to read it and I hope I love it. I know this is a little bit controversial because it's a provocative love story between 2 unlikely people in the hard-won relationship that elevates them above the Midwestern meth lab backdrop of their lives. So I think it's like a younger girl and like this biker guy, but I don't think that anything happens until their ages are much closer together, but I still think it's a little controversial. But it sounds really cool, like a cool story premise idea. And also I went ahead and I started reading like a couple of pages of it, and it starts in it looks like it may be told in multiple perspectives, but this is Amy's and it's March 1975. I think I only read like maybe 7 pages of it, but I did enjoy the writing and I'm just really looking forward to it. Definitely think it's going to be 5 stars. So that's the first one on this list. Next up, I picked a book from 2017. It just ended up that way. I didn't really like plan it that way, but this is a book about stories, but also like secret identities. I guess the main character of this book, Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. How do I not know how to say this author's name yet? But Eliza and Her Monsters had been on my like not owned TBR, but like my just in my mind mental TBR for a very long time. And then a while back I picked it up at the book exchange for $9. I was so happy to see it there. But this is about Eliza Merck, and she's that classic, shy, weird, friendless, but online she's this lady constellation, an anonymous creator of the wildly popular webcomic series. This guy transfers to her school and he's the biggest fan fiction writer of her webcomic series, and but when Eliza's secret is accidentally shared with the world, everything she's built, her story, her relationship with Wallace, and even her sanity begins to fall apart. I also think it deals with like anxiety and insecurities and things like that. And I just remember like back in the day when people were reading this, like everybody was loving it and it just sounded like a book I would really like. So it's always kind of like been on my mind that I wanted to read this book. So then when I saw it in the book exchange, I was like, finally I have it. So yeah, I think this is going to be 5 stars when I eventually get to it. The other couple of books are ones that I've been hearing, I keep hearing about these books. So the next one is The Simple Wild. This came out in 2018, but I didn't really hear anybody read about it or talk about it until last year. I heard Gabby talk about it. I heard Jacqueline talk about it. I've heard countless other people talk about it. I heard Heather from Bookables talk about it. I've heard so many people talk about this book. Only Jacqueline, I don't think she liked this, but everybody else really did. And I know that the sequel is out or is coming out very soon. And I definitely am interested if I love this one. So we shall see. Plus, I've never read a K.A. Tucker story before, which is hard to believe. But yeah, so this one is about so the main character, Calla Fletcher, I guess she wasn't even 2 when her mom kind of took her and they ran away. They fled Alaska, and now They left her father behind, and now that Calla's 26, a busy life in Toronto, she learns that her father's days may be numbered, so she travels back to Alaska and tries to reconnect with her estranged father, and I think the pilot or something like that. There's like a romantic connection, relationship, all that. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Two 2019 books. The first one is the Flatshare, which I know you guys have heard a million times. But this is by Beth O'Leary, and this is about a man and a woman who, for a variety of reasons, need a flat. They find out that they can share a flat because one needs it during the day, one needs it at night because of their like work schedules. They're going to be sharing a bed. One will be at work while the other one's using it, then the other one will be gone and the other person will use it as a way to communicate. They start leaving like post-it notes and stuff, and they eventually, like, I think a romance blossom somehow. I have heard amazing things. I initially heard about this on Chelsea's channel. She talked about it and she like totally convinced me just from her alone. Like, I added it to my wish list, and I always wanted to get it. But then there were a couple people saying that like they liked the girls' side of things, but the way that the male character was written was really hard to get into. There's no like quotations around his you know, what he's saying and stuff, so it was like hard to read at times and stuff. And I just remember hearing a couple of people like say that they didn't love it as much as they thought, and like saying it's like the new Jojo Moyes, and they are like, well, I don't like Jojo Moyes, so I'm not surprised that I didn't like this. Maybe Gabby was one of the people that said that she didn't like it, but I know there were a couple of people that I watch like all the time that said that they didn't like it, but Chelsea convinced me to pick it up, so here it is. I think that I'm gonna love it. It sounds like a really cute romance story. We'll see. I'm a little scared, but I'm excited. And then the last one on this list is something completely different than everything else on this list, and I really don't have a good explanation of why I think this is gonna be 5 stars, because everybody that talks about this book, they just say it's so weird, and I know it has a lot of like animal things in it, which I'm a little worried about. But I initially heard about this book on Kayla's channel, Books and Lala, and then I heard other people read it because of her. But then like towards the end of last year, when like favorite books of all time or favorite books of the year videos were being released, I saw this and at least 5 different people's favorite books of the year videos, and that just shocked me because I was like, wow, I didn't even realize this many people were actually reading this book. And that book is Bunny by Mona Awad, and I've never read anything by this author either, but this is a book that I initially, like I said, when Kayla talked about it, even though she was raving about it, I wasn't really that interested in it, and I saw it in the bookstore a couple of times and I passed it over. And then those videos towards the end of the year started coming out, and I started seeing it in more and more and more people's videos. I decided to continue to pass it up, and then I was in the bookstore and I just said, you know what, go for it. So I decided to finally get it. I'm glad that I have it. Like I said, I'm a little nervous going in, but if it's as good as everybody says it is, I think I will really enjoy it and give it 5 stars. So these are the 5 books that I am predicting that I will rate 5 out of 5 stars for a variety of reasons. I've got quite a mix here, a couple romance, some weird thing, like some contemporary, some YA, some adult, and I'm just really looking forward to reading all of this. Like I said, I have like 2 to 3 books ahead of these, but I do hope to read these at least over the next couple of months, and then I will report back to you in a full video going over these books and letting you know if I was able to properly predict that they would be 5 stars. But that's all for today's video. Of these books, let me know which one you would like me to start with. If any of these are like some of your favorites that you rated 5 stars, definitely let me know that in the comment section down below. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye!